Four, three, two. Now, sister, that wow.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Organized Clutter. My name is Audrey Danilick, and I am your host. I am super excited for this episode because we have made it now into our season 3, and it's just so exciting with like the now, like the type of like personnel and like collaborations that I've been doing. So obviously, goal is still like being on the radio, talk to these like on-air personalities, but a lot of like my new kind of rhythm has been TikTok lately. So coming in with this bestie and like kind of finishing with our season 2 where there was a bunch of TikTokers, it's like become the news, you know what I mean? That's where you find everybody. That's like your resume in a sense and Instagram. So I'm so excited to get to know like this bestie because I feel like we already like know each other and he's like way far than me. So, anyways, let's get into it. Who do I have here with me?
Hola, Mocosas. It's me, Alex Bryan.
How are you? How
I'm
how do
doing
we know each
good.
other?
Well, you reached out to me, what, like about a month ago?
Yeah, on
Yeah.
TikTok. Yeah, I'm definitely a fan. Like you're the cutest. So like obviously we are in what are we recording in? We came March 2025. So obviously right now, like if this is like a time capsule eventually, we are going through like the craziest time politics wise with the fucking Cheeto puff
Right.
ass bitch president. And just it's mayhem. It's like freaking The Handmaid's Tale. Like if you haven't seen it on Hulu, like check it out like in real life. So I hope by the time this is like all done with, like we can look back at this and be like, holy fucking shit. Like this will be our history books, you know what I mean?
We went
Anyways,
through that.
so you know what I mean? Like evolved history books. Anyways, so I feel like that's how you and I connected because that's a video that I came across. My aunt had actually shared that video with me, and I thought it was hilarious. So I went back to
Thank
TikTok
you.
and grabbed that video and reposted it. So when you and I like magically connected, I went back to her. I was like, "Oh my God, he's gonna be on!" So you're doing that kind of stuff, boy. Are you excited?
Thank you. Yes, I'm so excited. Social media has always been something that I wanted to pursue, and I mean, I'm just now starting to see basically the fruits of my labor a little bit. So that's super exciting.
How old were you when you just like knew you were that bitch? Like, just knew.
Like in social media or
Just yeah, in general, or been like the like fucking star of your group, your
oh,
life,
thank you. I
relationships.
mean, I honestly I've been trying to pursue the social media thing for quite a few years now, probably close to 8 years. Never actually taken it seriously until maybe 2 years ago.
But what was your vibe for like your content where you're like, this is what's gonna happen?
It's always been very like comedy inclined. Kind of just like day in my life, who I am, just be trying to be basically my unapologetically self
Yeah,
on
and it
social
worked.
media. And I feel, yeah, I mean, I feel like that's what's kind of gotten me, kind of far a little bit.
Yeah, you brought in a whole different like little community and stuff. So why I say that is like obviously like what I was saying prior to recording, like you and I were like sidebar talking like personal life and stuff like that. And I laugh because a lot of your stuff you like do a lot of like English and Spanish like jokes and all that stuff. But me being a no sabo kid, I think it's still fucking hilarious because it's just like it's relatable. And I love
Yeah.
that for you because you're young. Like, how old are you? You're like, well, you look young.
I'm 28 actually.
Okay, period. Yeah, I'm 31, so you look great.
Yeah.
And like
Thank
I see
you.
you with like your fucking little high heels and not getting down in your videos, so you look good.
Yeah, like I said, well, it was when I first started taking TikTok a little bit more serious, it was very comedy inclined. So like I started doing cute little skits with like wigs and heels and kind of stuff like that. And kind of like scenarios of like what your typical tia does, or like what moms be like, or Mexican moms be like. So stuff like that. So that's kind of
Yeah.
what where it all took off.
Costco trips and all that stuff too, day in the life.
Yeah, like day in the lives and stuff. So I think maybe last year's when I started doing more like days in the life and stuff like that. But before it was just comedy, trends, just for fun, never actually taking it serious until last year. So
Yeah, and for the little TikTok or video investigators, I've already shown it. Yes, I'm missing some nail. I have a nail appointment after this video. So I was like, for people who are probably like, ew, ghetto. Like, sorry. Anyways, I told you before we started recording, I was like, I'm gonna be super raw because you know what it's like behind like the fucking scenes. You know what I mean? But like the show must go on. Like this is a performance, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally
I
get it.
I love that for you. Like you even told me you're like I kicked everybody out of my house so we can get this
I
done.
get it.
You
Because
take it serious. I love that.
yeah, because I live with my boyfriend. We have a roommate and my brother. So there's four of us in the house. So I told him, I was like, look, I'm filming a
Your house
podcast.
looks cute, by the way. Like your background, if that's your house where you're like
Thank
dancing
you.
and stuff, like it looks super cute.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So I basically told him, I was like, y'all need to get out. Y'all need to get the fuck out because I'm gonna film a podcast and I don't want any noise. I
You're
don't want
like,
to
I'm
drag you
gonna
around.
be in my zone
Yes.
1000%. Yes, speak exactly how you feel. You know what I mean? So I love that. And I that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how or why we connected, but I'm glad that you do. So I'm sure you can relate. And I think you actually did make a video addressing this, that like kind of circling back to where we're at right now around the world, is you and we don't do political like content. We don't dip into that stuff.
Yes.
Like we just, like you said, like we do day in the life, funny stuff. Like we're being relatable, but we don't give a fuck what fucking Cheeto Puff is doing. But now it's getting serious because now we're the ones that are being the informative. And I was just telling my bestie that I was like, to be honest, I don't know any of my friends or family that are like giving the information of what's happening around the world. And I'm doing that. So like support me, fucking show me that it's working. Like help me with boost my ship because I'm over here like getting this info not for just your entertainment, but like because I'm trying to
Yeah.
let you guys know what's up. You know what I mean? So given all that stuff, now I kind of circled it back and I get all emotional on Instagram and everything else of the videos that I do because I was like, if this continues to be the way that it is, we can all say goodbye to each other because social media is not going to exist. Like, there's an attack on the freaking LGBT plus community. There's fucking attack on women. Like, you know what I mean? So, unless you're like so willing to be like, sorry, Nara, don't care about my life, then like, ew, like, you're not worried as a like content creator. Like, doesn't it make you sad? Because you love it.
Yes, no, I definitely do get where you're coming from with that because, like you said, it's I've never really been one to like post a lot of stuff about politics or even really get involved into it because like I said on that one video that you're talking about, I'm not the most informed person when it comes to that stuff. So I try not to get too involved. But this last couple of years that I've been with my boyfriend, he's kind of been the one kind of teaching me and guiding me because he's like super into all that stuff. So definitely, whenever it feels like it's targeted towards like certain people, like you said, LGBTQ, immigrants is a big one.
It is literally so crazy. So like your boyfriend has always been like that just does he have his own podcast and stuff like where he's always been open or is it just like
No. He does not like being in the public eye. He's the shyest person ever, and I'm definitely the outgoing one in the
so he just
relationship.
gives you the 411?
Yes, he's like, look, this is what's happening, blah, blah, and like he's the one filling me in all the time.
Then
So
steal it from him and
if
freaking put it into
it's
content.
what's up,
No, well, like steal it from him and then turn it into content.
turn it into content. I know.
You know what I mean? He's your news
So
reporter.
if anything political that I've ever posted, it's been because of him, because he's kind of like told me what's going on. He's kind of showed me and taught me some things. So,
Shout out to
but
you. What's his name?
his name is Michael.
Shout out to you, Michael. You're the real one.
Yes.
But no, like kind of like what I was saying, like you don't post content like that. So for it to kind of like blow up, like because that's how I got to know you. Like
Yeah.
you obviously are put in this position not only because you're talented, but like I feel the rhythm that you're trying to go at. And that's like what I want to dive deeper in, like mental health wise. So
Yeah.
obviously you got popular and you're like, what the heck happened? How are you personally feeling? Like in the areas that it's hurt you or like you started to like feel the need to talk about it? Like, where are you at headspace?
I've always been a huge advocate for immigration. Me and my parents are immigrants. We moved to the States when I was very young. It's always been instilled into me since very young that we're here to basically make a better life for ourselves. We're here to be successful. We're here to work and pay taxes because a lot of people don't know, but immigrants do pay taxes too.
I
Uh,
know, it's annoying. Like, what the fuck?
so I don't know. I feel like with everything going on that morning, I was really upset with a lot of the videos that I had been seeing on social media circling around, and I was just like, just so annoyed that I just felt like, oh my gosh, there's just so much going on. There's so much going on with immigration and LGBTQ. You know, like me being part of the LGBTQ community and being an immigrant, just it was a lot. But you know,
I know, like it's crazy because I literally have been saying like all over my personal pages that if you don't know what's going on in the world, like you should be freaking scared for your life because I feel like this is like a novella at this point because there's always something fucking happening like every 4 seconds and all of us are like waiting for like the same season finale if you understand what I'm
yeah,
saying.
it's
It's like
just about to
literally
happen.
like endless, like How I Met Your Mother. How I was like, there's a billion fucking episodes. I was like, we need the fucking season finale already.
Yeah.
Like, what is it gonna be? So I'm happy, but like I don't know. I genuinely am like scared in the direction that it's going. You know what I mean?
I agree. Yeah.
So I don't know. How do you think that's like gonna affect your platform, or do you think like you are keeping that separate from your podcast? And I kind of want to dive into that deeper with your podcast.
I think I've done pretty well keeping it separate, you know, politics and all that stuff, just kind of maybe a video or two every once in a while, but not too much. Like I said, whenever I first started growing my audience, it was mainly through comedy and through just me being me. So I feel like that specific video got so much popularity was because it was just basically really just me being me. And I was just really upset that morning and wanted to get something off my chest. So
Dude,
that's
it was like period. And then your freaking margarita one, you're like, I don't want to fucking see you drinking a margarita. For those of you guys that are like listening, I'm gonna make sure that I share these. I think I did share them when they came out, but like, I guess you were just feeling it that day too, huh? You were feeling
I sure
specific. Oh
was.
no.
You know what, National Margarita Day, but no, ma'am. If you
I
voted for that
loved
shit,
it.
fuck, no, sir. Better not see you drinking one.
So, kind of circling into that, so you've been doing TikTok like for how long? Like, were you doing that at the
Since
same time as
COVID.
the podcast?
No, since COVID. Yeah, that's really where it started. You know, I was actually very hesitant into like downloading TikTok because I knew it was Musically before,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure I had the app, but I never really got into it or anything. And then COVID was it was actually my senior year of college, and I downloaded the app, and some of my friends were like, "Oh, we're like you should start posting videos on there or whatever." I was like, "Okay, yeah, like I'll give it a try." I posted one video and it got a little popularity, and I was like, you know what, like maybe this is something that I actually want to try and pursue on TikTok this time around. Because YouTube though, YouTube, I had a YouTube channel with my sister a couple years ago. So like I've always been kind of around in like social media and stuff and Instagram, but I mean TikTok
Was
is
it a
where
show with your sister, or what was it that you were doing on YouTube?
with my sister it was just like I think we started out with 50 things about us, and it was just kind of funny just being that cute like dynamic Latino duo, you know, me and my little sister.
That's
We
cute.
we grew up together. We're only like a year and a half in age and difference. So we kind of grew up as twins. So we were always really close, and we're like, well, why don't we just like start a YouTube channel or whatever? But
You were
again, I
born
was in
to be a little
school.
influencer. Look at you. I
uh,
love it.
but yeah, I mean, it didn't go very far because again, I was in college too, so it was a lot, and it was a lot to like keep up with having to film and edit and still go to school full time. And
Where
like I
did you
said,
go to school?
Eastern New Mexico, and
Okay.
yes, so yeah, it was kind of hard to like juggle all that around, and you know, like being an immigrant, I don't know, a lot of people don't know, but um, you don't qualify for like loans or FAFSA, financial aid, any of that stuff.
You have to
You
pay out of
basically
pocket
have to pay
completely?
out of pocket completely or
Oh
grants and
my God.
scholarships.
So you're gonna put yourself, you're obviously you guys are putting yourself through debt to fucking make it. Like, you know what I mean?
You know,
That
and
sucks.
that's actually something that I've always been very prideful of, that I graduated debt free. I got my bachelor's debt free completely.
How did
So
you make that work?
I was working 2 to 3 jobs while I was in
Holy
school.
moly. What were you doing? Like, what kind of jobs were you working at?
Uh, Girl, you'll never believe it, but
Let's hear it.
um, Well, through school, I was working my freshman year. I started working at a retail store. I think it was Boost Mobile. I was selling phones and stuff. So that was a cute little part-time job. I was also a cheerleader, so I had a
Yes.
scholarship.
I remember seeing your little like box that you did. What was that?
It was my they gave us a shadow box for like our senior night or whatever. Like our parents got to walk us and stuff, and like they announced it for one of the, I think it was a volleyball game. I don't remember,
Yeah.
but yeah, anyways, long story short, I got through college having two or three jobs, scholarships, cheer was one of them, getting involved with the school and like getting a couple grants. Like I said, I worked at Boost Mobile, and then after that, I ended up even working at a dairy with my dad.
Oh,
So I did
wow.
some farm work for a little bit just to pay off some of my school debt.
You're
I
just
also
hustling because you're like, I need to make this happen. What were you pursuing, like your degree wise?
Communications, broadcast journalism was my major, which during my undergrad, I had the opportunity to do the weather for News 3 New Mexico as well. So I was your local weatherman for 2 years.
Even though I'm a no sabo, like I obviously like when I go to my grandma's house, like listen to like what the hell they're like watching. You seem like you would be like a Jose Luis, that kind of show.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm talking about? The Jose Luis, that would be you.
Do you think so? Thank
I
you.
think so. I think you give off like that drama fun vibe.
Drama fun.
You wouldn't do it, or what would you feel like your kind of show would be?
um, Cheese miss. What do you mean?
Yeah, I know, right? So into that, being a chismoso, like tell me about your podcast. Like where did that start?
Well, I just last year I started getting into podcasts and listening to a lot of them. And that kind of just inspired me to basically start my own. And I remember me and my sister wanting to get back into YouTube, and we had that conversation. And I told her, I was like, well, I moved away, so we don't see each other every day. And I remember us having that conversation about wanting to go back to YouTube. And I told her, I was like, well, I'm actually thinking about starting a podcast. And she was actually my first guest on my podcast when I first started it. And it was kind of like, wow, it's been 6 years since we've been on YouTube, so it was kind of like our comeback. And the whole chismosa thing and like the name of the podcast came about because on my vlogs on TikTok last year, I started saying mocosas and mocosos, and I remember my mom getting mad at me for referring to kids that way. She's like, "Why are you referring to
Yep,
kids
I
that
hear it
way?
a lot with
Don't call them
kids.
mocosos, don't call them
Yeah.
mocosos. That's mean or whatever." I was like, "Mom, it's just I personally not somebody who really likes kids a whole lot.
Yeah,
So
it's
I
funny.
refer to them as like mocosos, so that kind of came around, and I started using that word on TikTok, and my audience ended up reciprocating it really well. And I was like, you know what? They like it. I'm gonna run with it. And it's something
It just
catchy,
became like
something
a
new.
tagline. Like even me, I'm
Yes.
just like, hey Mokosa, mine is Girl Scout and Boy Scout. But you know what I mean? You made it
Yeah.
like you're
It's
like the
something easy
queen
to
of the
market.
Mokosas.
Yeah. So
You're
I
Queen
kind of
Bee, and then
just
we're just like your little Mokosas.
Yeah, so I kind of just ran with it, and that's how the name came about, the Mocosas Anonimas. And the Anonymous is it's kind of like a joke, like being like at an AA meeting, like Anonymous. That's literally what
Yeah.
it is. It's
So you're
just
just like
we're
getting
just
down to the cheese mid, just like
yeah.
whatever we're talking about, whatever. That's kind of like the vibe here. That's why I knew you were gonna be like super perfect for this. But like,
Thank
what
you.
was the light bulb moment you were like, okay, yeah, I need to start recording? Like it was like a compliment that you just like what was just like, okay,
To start recording like for the podcast.
yeah. What was
Uh,
like did it for you?
I guess my brother, me, and my sister, and my best friend, actually, sometimes we just sit in the car and we're having these deep ass conversations, and we're like, oh my gosh, like, why aren't we recording this type of stuff? So that's just kind of where we kind of decided, you know what, like, let's go ahead and run with this, and I'm my own. I market everything myself. I do all my artwork myself. I do all my filming, all my editing, all of that
Your
stuff. Like
promos, all
I'm
that stuff.
yeah, all my promos, all that stuff, all my clips from the podcast that go onto my my Instagram and TikTok for the podcast and to my
All the
personal.
research too, what's happening hashtag wise.
Yeah,
Telling you, people that don't know, content creating is just not just us standing in front of the camera and just be
it's
like,
a
boom, bada
full time
bing.
job.
Hell
Yeah,
no. It's angles, it's minutes, it's like
it's,
algorithm, it's hashtags. Like you have zero idea. It's fucking hard because
it's
it's
a full time job
important,
for
right?
sure. Mm-hmm.
It's
Yes.
hard. It's super duper hard. And like just reaching that demographic. Like what would you say your demographic is? Like with your podcast and then also like all your other platforms.
My demographic.
What have you noticed that most of your listeners have been?
Mm, I don't know. I mean, I'm somebody who's I'm very no. I'm bilingual, so it's very easy for me to switch back and forth from English and Spanish. So I'm struggling a little bit to get the words out in English.
Oh, then say it in Spanish. Say it in
So,
Spanish.
but
I have
I guess
Spanish listeners too.
yeah. So I guess just my whole demographic is just trying to be relatable in the realm of being bilingual. You know, being an immigrant, being raised into different cultures, Mexican American, because like my parents don't speak English at all, so it's so yeah, I
Like your
guess.
current day friends like don't speak English like at all.
My parents.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah. No, my parents. So they don't speak English at all. So
Yeah. So you are able to like do both, and that's exactly like why I love your content. What is your most like famous like or I guess viral video that you have that you're just like that's me. That describes my
the 2 years ago I dressed up as this famous comedian. I don't know if you know her, La Chupitos. She's
maybe.
Chupitos. She's huge in Mexico. And I for Halloween I did a DIY of a costume and everything. And I kid you not, that video got probably like over 7 million views.
What?
It got seen by her because she even commented on the video. She reposted it on her socials, and I thought it was super cool because a lot of people
You're
on the
like, oh
comments
my
were,
God.
"You're literally her twin. Like y'all look so much alike." Blah, blah, blah. And again, that's kind of like me doing content with wigs and stuff like that. That would have never crossed my mind that it was gonna go that viral. It was just kind of like a last minute costume too, and I literally spent like $15 on that costume.
And you're like, that became like it for you. And you're
Yeah,
confident.
and like yeah, that's probably what my most viral video was.
I would have
Uh
cried just seeing that she like freaking even saw it, acknowledged it.
yeah, I was definitely excited for sure, but I think when I probably did cry was when Carol G posted one of my videos on her
You're
Instagram.
lying.
It was the I'll have to send it to you, but it was basically whenever she announced her Mañana Será Bonito tour.
Yeah,
I made a video of me like basically looking at my phone, screaming, throwing my phone, ran off, grabbed the wig and put it on. And like I was just so excited, because I've always been
exactly acting how you should be acting with her. Oh my God, dude, I love her. She's so beautiful. Even though I can't sing her music, she's just so, oh, I love her. She's a vibe.
She is. I
You need
love
to
her
share
so
that
much.
video. So she shared it like on Instagram.
Yeah, so she shared it on her Instagram, and I was at work at the time. So I remember a lot of people commenting on my video, like, "Oh my gosh, Carol G posted you," and a lot of people texting me. And my sister called me, and I was like, "Sister, I'm at work. I can't talk right now." And then whenever I got off work, I went on my TikTok, and there was so many comments on that video saying, "Oh my gosh, she posted you on her Instagram." And yeah, I went on her Instagram. I screen recorded it too because I was so excited. I was like, "Are
Oh my
you
God,
freaking
send
kidding
it to me.
me?" Yeah, so yeah, she's probably one of the artists that I admire the most, aside of Ariana Grande, of course. But anyways,
The cutest. Like, how are you getting these like cute moments where you're just like lucky? Like, what do you think your secret is?
definitely that. I
I'm
think a
jealous,
lot of people
literally.
get lucky, and a lot of people just work really hard to like get to where they want to get on social media. I definitely do think that those moments had just been luck. But yeah, I mean those two videos are probably the ones that definitely made me smile the most.
Yeah, that sounds funny. Like, I know I've been seeing like all your new stuff, like aside from like I said, not like you're not the politics side. You were just trying to lighten the mood of what's happening and just make it comedy, like what you already do. But yeah, all the stuff with like your boyfriend, your guys' little trips where you're like guessing how much like it's gonna be at the grocery store. Like
Your
it's
sister, yeah.
cute. It's a distraction. It's like entertainment with all the bullshit going on. You know what I mean? But still
Mhm.
keeping it relevant. Is that like what you're going for?
Relevant. Yeah, definitely. Just still
What's
keeping it
so what's
relevant, being
next?
me.
Like for you, like what's the goal with like the social media stuff? Like, do you
Social
have
media.
a
I wouldn't say that I want to be like a full-time influencer like a lot of people. I would definitely consider myself more like a small content creator. Like I said, I started out doing this just for fun, and then I started getting these like little opportunities here and there, getting recognition from Carol G or La Chupitos, the Mexican comedian. But as far as what's next, I definitely do want a career in the industry of entertainment, whether it is I don't know, music, TV, all of that stuff. I personally always have seen myself basically interviewing people like for the red carpet events, stuff
Mhm.
like that. So, I mean, that's definitely the goal one day, hopefully get into interview Carol G herself, you know? So,
Right. I saw Bretman Rock, he made I think he got like an award or something, and he goes, I'm not gonna lie and be like, oh, I've never saw myself on TV. He goes, I always did. Like, and if you didn't, girl, change the channel. You know what I
I
mean?
know exactly what we're
That's
talking about.
exactly how I feel because I was like, no, since I was little, I'm like, I'm gonna be famous. And like, I always motivated myself for it to be like for something good, something positive. So I was like, yeah, I'll keep it real there. But heck no, like, I feel like I'm gonna get there. So I see that in you. You're like, I'm gonna
Well,
make
thank
it.
you. Yeah,
But
I mean,
without
I
you doing
definitely
that full time, like, how do you even fit that in your life? Like, I just recently became like a full time doing this stuff.
doing
So.
this stuff.
Yeah, I'm
It,
like, how do you find the time? And you have
it's
a normal job
definitely
and stuff still.
Yeah, it's definitely hard. A lot of time management, you know. I do have a full-time job too, you know, I'm still waiting tables, you know, and all that stuff. So, um, just a lot of time management. Whenever I first started out the podcast, I put a lot of pressure on myself on posting every week. And that kind of I hit kind of like a crash a little bit. I started messing a little bit with my mental health. You know, like I started putting a lot of pressure on myself because I also had a full-time job. I wanted to really do this and be successful on this one and just go all in.
It
So
happens literally,
yeah.
like where you have to take a little break.
Yeah, I did take a little break. I believe it was in November. I took like a month break, and then in December, I kind of try to like start it back up with the podcast and stuff. And I posted an episode in December, and then it was still kind of a little too crazy, you know, like personal things going on outside of like social media and everything too. So
Yeah,
uh,
I saw when you made that like post that you're gonna like come like full force back into like the podcast stuff, and then you have been posting like, hey, new episodes out and things like that. So I'm glad that you are following through with like what you were saying online. Like, I gotta get my shit back into this, but that's normal for like mental health to happen. I kind of like I learned the hard way. Like I literally like to have I'm barely gonna hit my 2 year anniversary doing this, and I was sad for a while that like I took two breaks in between because mental health, relationship, all that stuff wise. But I was like, that's what's made me also continue my journey of like what's next, more content. I was even petty. I was like, you know what? I told my exes, I was like, we can either have two, like one or two stories. And I was like, I keep it real. I'm like, we can actually have the story of the lifetime of like our reconciliation, how cutesy people were rooting for us, or the freaking come up story of Audrey Danilik and you're a dumbass. So you
I
stayed quiet, you know what I mean? So that's like, I was like, that's where the story, that's where the come up is. Like, you know
think
what
I
I mean?
better watch the second story.
Yeah, oh boy, I'm telling you. But I mean, what do you hope for? Like if there is something like in particular that you can just be super happy that you have, like what is it and what type of content?
You know, just really just getting a job in the industry and anything like in the realm of entertainment. So I feel like why I really started the podcast was kind of to not lose my skills, like because I do have a degree in communications and broadcast journalism, and once I graduated college, I felt like I wasn't really doing anything with it. So that's the why the whole idea of the podcast came about. You know, like I want to get better at interviewing people. You know, talk more how would I say it? More in like the entertainment industry, like what's going on with like famous people and all that stuff. So
That's me.
definitely.
I
Hmm.
totally get it, literally. But I'm doing it for the radio industry. So I focus on like the people that are doing the interviewing and what like freaking concerts are coming up and stuff like that. And you're promoting like kind of everything and like kind of like your style. Like it's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're doing good things and it's super exciting because obviously like your numbers are showing for it and you're just growing and growing. What how much are you at like on TikTok and then on IG?
I'm pretty close to 40K on TikTok, which like I said, I consider myself a small content creator because I know like there's people that have like millions and millions of
What are
followers.
you talking about? I like haven't even hit 1K yet. So you
But you'll get there. And I mean, you're doing amazing things too, like
but
with
even
this.
if you have two followers, that's like two people that are like you're the cutest.
Exactly.
You know?
Those two people that you're entertaining. And even if it's my mom, my tia, and my cousin that are commenting that I'm making videos for them. So
For real, for real. I know. I'm just like, I'm so jealous because you guys are like, you've obviously popped off and then everybody, but I do believe that like everybody's right timing is just like when it does, But like you're younger than me, so I'm like, oh my God, like I'm so bad. What
don't
do you
beat
recommend for people that
don't
are
beat
trying to get
yourself
into
up
it?
don't beat yourself up too much about it because there's also younger content creators than me that are in the millions. And I
I
definitely
know they're
look
just eating
at
like
them
a fucking sandwich on there.
yeah,
And
so
look at that Ash Trevino bitch, like, you know what I mean?
no, don't even get me
Uh,
started on here.
For
Yeah.
real. Like, dude, I hope I fucking do a podcast with her. I would do like exactly what happened with Camilla, but worse. I would
Oh, that
pass out.
see Camilla, oh my God, that's a good
I
interviewer to.
love her. She's cute. I love
Yeah,
her.
she is so cute. I never even knew who she was until that podcast, and then
Me
I
too. And
watched
like when the whole
that
Bop House
podcast.
drama happened, so shout out Camilla, girl. I would freaking
Yes.
totally go. But side note from that, you know what's crazy? Kind of like circling back from where you
Yes.
came from and stuff. I have been having like so many interviews with like what I was saying in the beginning with TikTokers. And there's this really big comedian. His name is Javi Bailon. I'm sure that you've seen like billions of his episodes. He's really big. He's from Texas. And like I did an interview with him, and from that interview, so many like personnel started to be like attracted towards the podcast, like you,
Yes.
and then like Tino Cucino that I've pretty much done. He's from 991, a radio station out here, and then some comedy clubs from Texas. I was like, I'm popping in Texas, which is cool. I was like, I need that shit here in California, but like.
Yeah.
It's crazy how like the community, especially online, just brings people together. And it makes
Definitely.
me sad because you have more internet bestie supporters than you do in real life. Isn't that super sad?
Oh, yes, that
And you
is
see your
crazy.
fucking tias and everybody's that are like, happy birthday to Katy Perry or fucking anybody. But
Uh-huh.
you got like,
I
hey,
agree. Yes, that still kind of blows my mind a little bit too with like TikTok.
I get salty about it. Mm-mm.
Uh, no, I get it.
See, because it does like take $0 to support someone, you know what I mean? Like you're already
Yes,
scrolling. It's
exactly.
like just say
Mhm.
hi. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
exactly. I agree. I mean, yeah, there's always those people that they're like, "Oh, you're doing that? Why are you still doing that? Like, get a real job." I'm like, This could be a real job if you
It
just
is a real job,
there."
even if you're not getting paid for it. Like it's work. You have no
Yeah,
idea, and
it
you're
is work.
clearly watching it.
And
You
like
know,
I said, I'm basically putting my skills into use that I'm not really using like on the outside world. Like I paid a good amount of money for that degree, so I'm gonna put it to use somewhere.
you're like the definition of like, okay, keep scrolling. If not, like it's still gonna be there. Like you have the support already, so it's super cute. That's why I'm like excited for you. Now with you, obviously, like, because there's always gonna be haters, like people drinking fucking haterade. Have you
Yeah.
experienced that yet? And if so, like, what is it normally like? Where you're just like, oh God.
Yes, I have. There's been a couple of videos, like comments, trolls are always gonna be trolls or whatever, but I've slowly have learned to just not give them the time of day. I try not to look at those comments as much as I can, because like I said, there's always gonna be haters. I've always been very open about my sexuality, always been very open about being an immigrant and like sharing stuff about that. And there's always gonna be some asshole, that's
There's
gonna
meanies in like everything that you post.
there's what?
There's like little meanies like every time you post something.
Not every time, but definitely the ones that have popped off, that have like a good amount of views or a good amount of comments and stuff. Like there has
Especially
been
on the political stuff, huh? Like the small bits that you've
the
done.
political ones for sure. Yes, that one had a quite a bit, quite a bit on both Instagram and TikTok, which I find kind of crazy. But
At
and
least you're
even other
strong
ones.
to not pay attention to the comments. Like I'm sure that's
Yeah, I try not to. I've learned that because at first, yeah, I would let it bother me a little bit, and then I just slowly try not to look a lot on those. And I've gotten a couple on YouTube too, and I haven't even been on YouTube that long, so like I'm not big on YouTube, but um, the
Well,
ones that
what
I
are
have,
those uglies like hating on? Like, what do they say? Like, what is the most common
just
thing?
targeting towards basically my sexuality or like the political ones, like that specific one. I remember there was one that said something about like what what rights does your gay have or stuff like that. So there's some really ugly ones, and that's just to summarize just that one, but
Just like, dude,
stuff
go
like
write
that.
this in your fucking diary, not fucking on TikTok. It's so annoying. Like,
It is
go
annoying.
move. Like, just keep
And
fucking.
I've even thought about like making a video about hate comments and stuff like that, but I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna give them the time. And who knows, maybe one day I will. I'm not gonna say never, but I
Yeah.
just slowly
I've
have
said
learned
that
to.
before. I was like, maybe it wasn't our time. Maybe we'll cross path. And I feel like it will still be welcoming. But if you're being like a hater just for funsies, like
Just to
whatever,
be, yeah,
bye. Like, okay.
what?
And plus, like Cardi B said, she goes, even if you're hating, like for people that are downloading it, like it still benefits me. It's true.
I
Like
mean, it's true. Yeah. You took the time out of your day to watch my video, comment on my video, which at the end of the day, you're benefiting me. So, hi, babe.
exactly. No, that's what exactly what I made like a video the other day. I was like, by now, especially with everything going on in the world, if you can tell me that you still support this motherfucker when all these world leaders around the planet and countries are like on TikTok, like, yo, we're so scared for you, America, all that stuff. I'm so scared of you. Like literally, it's crazy how devoted. And that's what I'm saying. Like I never ever pay attention to politics and stuff, but now it's affecting like my mental health. Now it's affecting like my friends that are part of these like communities that are very targeted. And I'm just like, yes, it's fun to make humor about it, but then also like I want to use my platform to talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've had lost a lot of like followers, but then I've also gained, and it's like it sucks because you're like, do I stop posting about this kind of stuff or do I keep doing it? Can you relate?
Yeah, I can definitely relate. I did lose a couple followers, but then I also gained more than I lost with that one political video.
Mhm.
Uh, I think that you're gonna attract the audience that's gonna genuinely like you for you, and it's gonna have your same point of view. So at the end of the day, the ones that left, good, you don't need them, So you obviously don't share
Really,
the
it just
same.
shows like true colors essentially because you're like, you know what? At least you know like they were never like rooting for you anyways, you
Yeah,
know?
exactly. So
It's a bargain, but you all it's hard like be realistically, like wouldn't you say like it's kind of like fuck, am I willing to risk this because it's gonna put me back or like I'm gonna pick what's right, you know?
no, I think I'm willing to risk it because at the end of the day, like I said, you're gonna attract the people that are actually gonna be there for you and for who you are and for what you stand for. And the ones that don't, and I mean, the trash takes itself out, basically. So
Exactly, period. Super period. I'm telling you, like, I love what you're doing. I love the things that we have in common, like RuPaul. Like, I'm Alaska.
Girl.
You.
Oh, RuPaul, I probably my favorite
You
TV show.
hear in my intro song what it is?
Yes. That
Sissy that walk. I fucking
one.
love freaking RuPaul. I'm telling you, and I'm such a big advocate for the gay community. I was like, you guys are so annoying that are haters. I was like, it is Funville all the time with all
Yes.
the queers. I was like, you guys are annoying. Watch one episode of RuPaul and you'll have FOMO that you haven't
You
been
like
an
it?
ally, right? And you know
Yeah,
what made me sad, but also like it was cute for you, but then also like heartsome for me because when you're like, oh my God, like when you heard that part, you're like, she's an ally. I was like, I hate that you even have to be excited about that. Like we shouldn't even, it should be to the point where it's just
it
like
should be as normal as
this
it is.
song, you know what I mean? So I was just like, I love it because yes, of course I'm an ally. But it's also just like, oh my God, like why are people annoying? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
But yeah,
agree.
for all the haters, watch one episode. I think what's my favorite? When Adore was on, she's my fave.
Yes.
Alaska. Yeah, that's my favorite. Who are you?
Plastic Box. I was obsessed with Georges. I don't know if you're like caught up to with like all the seasons or not. I think Georges was like maybe season 12 or 13. I don't remember.
I don't remember.
But she's from San Antonio. She's like so tiny and like I can totally relate. It's like she's a Texas queen. Oh, I love her.
I
But
think I'm Alaska, but my besties say I'm Shangela. So I'm like, yeah, I am Shanji.
you don't want to be Shanji right now.
Why? She's like,
With
I
all the
like her part where she's
controversy
like
that
started
she's
as a
been
baby now.
on.
I'm all grown up. Why?
Yeah.
People you don't like they don't like her right now?
Well, she's involved in a couple lawsuits for sexual harassment. So
Ew, okay, girl, no.
yeah, I used to be a huge Angela fan too,
She
and
was the cutest. I love her so much. But no, Alaska knows she's that bitch. She doesn't need that fucking
oh
validation.
yeah, for
Nothing.
sure.
She's
Have
my
you
favorite.
met any of them?
Huh?
Have you met any other ones from the show?
No, but I'm freaking mad because one of my besties had like two of them actually. One of them
Yeah.
in freaking when they were out in Europe for whatever reason, he was out there, met Adore. And then my other bestie that I'm super close with, he met her like in a city that's close to me. I was like, where am I with all this stuff? So I'm pissed. But
Yes.
no, to
So
get
many things.
somebody on RuPaul, like you have no idea. Imagine I get Ru like her like it's
Rue
himself.
herself. Just
That would
even one of
be
the girls from there. So that'd be amazing. I've met a couple of them, which is pretty cool.
my daughter has loved Kitty Girl since like the song itself since she was little. Like she loves the music video. Like where all they like feature the rest like Trixie, who else is in there? Uh
Hmm.
you know what I'm talking about the song, right?
I know what song,
Yeah, I'm a
yes.
huge RuPaul fan too, so I love that we have that in common. Keep me posted. So yeah, I had zero idea that we're not friends with Shanji right now. I like
Yeah.
Bianca Del Rio too. And what's her face?
Bianca. Oh, Bianca's an icon. I love her. Yeah.
Forever, literally forever. Who else do I love? Yeah, she's amazing. She's amazing. But yeah, anyways, so no, do you talk about that stuff too on your podcast?
But Drag Race, not yet. I would love to actually, and I have a friend that's just as obsessed with the show as I am, and I've asked him to be on the show so many times, but he's like, no, like I'm just too much of a shy person. I don't think I could do it. A lot of people find like the lights and the camera and the microphones a little intimidating.
Oh my
Um,
gosh, call me. We'll always hop on a freaking Zoom call to talk about the episode.
right. Oh my
This
gosh.
is like our book club. You have zero idea. Like me and my besties, if we didn't watch it together, there was still a meeting because we watched
Like
it
the Super Bowl
somewhere.
58 every Friday. Hello.
Dude, okay, you need to add me to like your little, or we're gonna start one. Honestly, add me in the chat.
Yeah, so if there's any RuPaul's Drag Race fans, we're gonna start a
So you
whole,
are
whole little chat.
obsessed.
I
You are,
yes, it's one of my favorite shows ever. So yes,
why do you like it?
I don't know. It's just I was introduced into the LGBTQ community like very late in my age. I didn't come out till I was 19, and so I grew up very sheltered in like a really small town, and I didn't even know about RuPaul's Drag Race until I met my boyfriend. Like
So
he's the
how
one
old
who
are you
put me
when you
on.
met him?
My boyfriend, I was 20, 21 or 22.
Oh wow, so you guys have been together for a while.
Yeah, we just had our 5-year anniversary September.
Dang,
Thank
congratulations.
you.
It's
So,
awesome.
but yeah, I mean, I've been a huge fan since then.
Please tell me he's obsessed as well, because then it's just as a party.
He was at first, and not so much anymore with the new seasons, but I still keep up with every single season. So
Yeah, I fell off for a little bit, but I still keep up with them like on social media. I was like, you have zero idea. Did you watch the was it a movie or was it like a Netflix series, The AJ and the Queen with RuPaul?
I didn't, but I've heard great things about it.
Oh my, okay, and then you need to delete the part in your life where you think you're obsessed because it is the key. You have to go run and find it. I don't know if it's on Netflix still, but I am so pissed that like there's not like a part two or season two because
Yeah,
it totally could. It's so good, so good.
I have
And
to
that's
check.
why I love that movie because there's a part, a little spoiler alert, where the little girl, well, little boy, little girl, like says like something along the lines that like she likes to perform as a woman but like doesn't identify as a woman, like it's just art, it's just like a performance. And I've had drag queens come on the show and stuff and I was like, I hate that like people hate on a skill, like on a skill, like half of you guys look fucking more better than I ever would, you know what I mean? The
Entertainment.
makeup, the style, the freaking
Yes.
walk, the talk, like what the hell? You know what
It
I mean?
doesn't matter if he's a man or a female. Like it's at the end of the day, entertaining you and
Yeah.
you go for it. So
I just like a huge empath. Would you agree? Like I always find out like why are they so mean?
yeah, no, I'm definitely like there's no reason to be. Like they're just doing what they love, you know. So
It's straight comedy. I love it. So for people that are attacking the drag queens, yo mama, honestly, because you're stupid and you're just jealous that they can do both and whatever. Like I'm okay with at this point. I was just telling my bestie that like if they're gonna be haterades, I'm gonna be like freaking hater too because like you know what I mean? Like why are you causing unnecessary drama? Like our president is doing
um,
enough. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
for no
Like just
reason. Yeah.
let's
I
work
actually
together.
I actually did have one of my drag friends that does drag locally here in Lubbock on my podcast as well, and we kind of just talked about her little upcoming into drag and stuff, and her submissions into Drag Race and stuff like that too. So that was super cool having her.
Heck yeah. I have a drag queen shout out Torrance. She does like I don't know if they have the chain Hamburger Mary's out there. It's like a like it's specified for like drag shows and stuff. Do you know about that?
I
Well, that's like
wish.
a big thing here in SoCal because that's where I'm from. And she does that's where I met her. She does a lot of like shows and stuff, but in her episodes we talk about like normalizing it being the cutest, what kind of content she does, but then we also talked about like the dark side of like once they're out of the freaking outfits and cuteness, like how they're also being treated like as like a person, you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
it's crazy. It's crazy. Have you
Yeah.
experienced anything like that with anything that you do, like as far as content related? Is
Like
the dark side of it
just being treated differently, or
in general? Were you just like, should I keep going?
I don't think so. I mean, I've always been surrounded by a lot of people that support me and like all of this stuff that I do. Thankfully, like my parents have always been super supportive too. They're probably like my number one fans. I had my dad on one of my episodes on the podcast too,
I
and that was
love it.
fun.
And that's not common, right? For Latino parents to be supportive with like
Right,
their community.
something like
Even
that.
with me knowing that tradition as like a no sabo, like I know that's a big deal. Was there
Yeah.
like a come up like a coming out story that was like big, or was he just always accepting?
Uh, yes, I've definitely talked about it on my podcast in a couple episodes. I felt like I had to come out 3 times basically.
How old were
Uh,
you?
uh, about 19. I was 19 when I first came out to my mom, and then I was 22 when I came out to my dad. Because like me and my
Right.
mom, my mom's my best friend, and we've always had like very open communication
But
and
you've
stuff.
always dated and stuff, right? Like men, and then it wasn't until like you told your parents, or when did you start like, no, I'm gay?
So I actually like I had girlfriends growing up in high school. I had a high school
Really?
sweetheart and everything. Yes. So um
Did you ever like be in love with any of them?
yeah, definitely. Or maybe some type of like
Closeness?
yeah, like closure, closeness, like always having somebody around. I don't know, because I feel like I always knew since I was a kid, not
Being
to be like.
bi too, though, because if you were able to be with a girl, like, was that just like I can
Yeah,
do?
I mean that definitely did cross my mind when I first came out, like maybe I am a little bisexual or not, so but yeah, like I had girlfriends growing up, even in college I dated a couple girls and stuff, and then I slowly started to figure out it just really wasn't for me, because like I said, I grew up in a very small town and very sheltered. So I was exposed to like the queer community and like all these new things very late in my life. It wasn't like a lot of kids that just automatically knew since they were kids, like, so for me it was a little different because I obviously like had these feelings for this girl. We dated for like 4 years, and we
The
I
last
thought she
girl like
was
you
the
were with?
one. No, she's probably the only girl that I dated for that long. So,
Right.
and then like I said, even in college, after her, I still had like maybe two girlfriends or like talked to a couple girls and stuff, but it never really went anywhere. And then it wasn't until I met this one specific guy, whenever the one I was talking to, whenever I came out to my mom, and yeah, I mean, I've been gay ever since.
I know, right? So how did you like meet that dude? Like where were you like at a party or how did you even get mixed up with like actually experiencing like with a dude?
I met a guy in college, and it was. very much just like he would talk to me kind of cute, kind of like sweet talk my ear, and then we eventually started hanging out. At first, I was very like, no, like I'm not gay, like I can't like do these things, and then I, slowly started like coming into terms with my sexuality. Like I've always said that sexuality is it's so tricky, it's so crazy because it's not really something you can put off like or like brush off, like it like the feelings there. So I mean I would say just don't deny don't deny like if it is what you're feeling, does that make sense? I feel like
And
I'm all
had it
over the
ever,
place,
no,
but
it totally does make sense because that was actually next what I was going to ask you. With you always being curious, do you feel like that's ever like put into play, like whether it was like a depression or like being held back in your life? Like you just said, like you have always had the support, but with before coming out, like did that hold you back in any kind of way?
I think it definitely did because, like I said, I feel like since I was little, I felt like I always knew that I was into boys, basically. Like if I was watching a novela with my mom, I wouldn't really look at the pretty girl. I'd be like, oh my gosh, like why is the actor so hot? Like
But
those
their
type of things.
flowy hair and fucking
Yes.
that they
Uh-huh.
turn into the bad boy. Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
I got you. I got you.
So definitely growing up in a small town definitely did bring a little bit of I guess a little bit of depression or like trauma with like the whole we're so sheltered here, and the way things are here is like the way that it is, and whatever else, like if you're different you're wrong, so definitely did a little bit, but thankfully because I had such supportive parents and brother and sister, I've never really felt the need to like hide it. I was just trying to come into terms myself and like
When it felt
realizing it
right.
and accepting it.
Yeah.
So
That's crazy though, because like I actually thought of you because I was just like scrolling through TikTok and I saw this video of like this like kid that was doing like his makeup and there was like a power outage and his dad comes in and he's like, "Oh shit." And he was just like, "It's okay," and like gave him like the biggest hug and stuff. And for me, I it's so sentimental because like I grew up with very homophobic like parents and stuff. Well, mostly my dad. And I was like, "You have zero idea like how easy it is to not be a fucking asshole. You know what I mean? Like who fucking cares?" And I talk about that like in that episode that I was telling you to listen to of
yes,
DJ Oscat. He
yes,
grew up that whole time like with his dad, like they didn't talk and stuff. And then his dad just had a freaking awakening and now they're on better terms. So I was like, shout out to the Latino dads that are really like just fucking bossing it
minded.
up. Like I get it, traditional values and stuff like that, but like do for your kids. Like it's like what's wrong? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely do consider myself very lucky to have such supportive parents.
You are
Uh,
very lucky.
yes, and I mean, given the fact that I'm adopted too, so
Are
I
you
don't know if
really?
I've told you that. Yeah, when I
How
moved
old were
to
you, if you don't mind me asking?
9. I was 9 when I was adopted. So
Oh, wow.
they're biologically they're my aunt and my uncle when I moved to the States, and then they took me and they adopted me, and they raised me ever since. So I'm very lucky to have them. My
Was there
biological
a
parents.
certain like circumstance that got you there? If you want to talk about it.
Yeah, no, of course. So just because basically moving to the States, my mother wanted just a better future for me, and the opportunity arise that I could come over here and like go to school and basically live with them. So that happened because of that. And I'm forever grateful for them because they never saw me as anything different than their own kid. So they took
Beautiful.
me in with open arms, and even the whole me coming out, like me being queer, and I've always have had this mannerisms, always been very feminine. Even though I was like dating girls and stuff at the time, I know that they knew the entire time. It
They just let
just
you be you.
yeah, they just let me be me, which I am eternally grateful for that, and never told me no, that's not right. Never told
You didn't
me
have that like
yeah,
pressure kind of deal.
yeah. So
But what about your bio parents and stuff? Do you still keep in contact with them or like
yeah,
what is the background with them?
yeah. My mother, yes, because like I said, my aunt and my uncle adopted me, so my mom and my mother, they're sisters. So I keep in contact with her. My father, he was never really in the picture even when I lived in Mexico. So very rarely will message here and there, but
Oh
yeah.
my God, actually, I'm the dumbest girl in the world for even asking that because I liked that video today where you were just like something about dads, like you like that kind of humor. Was it you that made a video like that? It
Yes.
was, right? I'm not like, okay, I'm not tripping. I was like,
Um,
same Z's. And I'm a dumbass because I actually commented that. I was like, same Z's. I totally forgot.
yes, so I definitely do have very dark humor when it comes to daddy issues. So
Yeah, same Z's. I was like, at least I'm not a stripper. I'm a content creator. So yeah, shout out dad for not being involved. He helped us out, homie. But
Mhm.
how cute of your mom, honestly, for like wanting that. And like I'm so glad that your come up stories like came with a lot of love because like you said, like you are very fortunate to have that position. And like look, with you being adopted, you just lived a life in abundance. And I'm sure that just even though it was hard for your mom, you're like she's just like you go, Glen Coco. You know what
Go
I
and do your thing. Yeah, definitely. So,
like you're making her like do you feel like you're making her proud like you're living up
oh
to
yeah,
like
I know that she's proud
high standard?
every single day. Yes.
Good.
Yeah,
I'm
I
proud of
appreciate it.
you. I'm super
Thank
duper proud
you.
of you. And I'm excited to see where your content goes because you're doing good things and like obviously you have fans. You have like a billion more followers than me. But make it happen. Keep going. Like
Numbers is not
but
everything. I'll keep that in
but
mind.
it's
Numbers.
motivating. Your stuff is so motivating because it's
Thank
funny,
you.
you are relatable, and like you just don't give a fuck. Like you just don't. But if there
This
is
is
ever
actually me, so
yeah, you're like unapologetically you, like you just said. But I love it. So if there's any social media handles that we can follow along, see your stuff, and just keep in touch, where can we find you?
yeah, so I am Alex Bryan on all my platforms on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. It's Alex with two X's on TikTok underscore Bryan. It's Bryan. There's an extra A in there, and then just Alex underscore Bryan on Instagram. And yeah, I mean, and on YouTube, I think it's just Alex underscore Bryan.
Heck yeah. So I'm pretty sure even just like with Instagram and stuff, because that's what's most popular, you can find all your stuff, right? How
Yeah, so I
exciting.
used to have had forever too. So
No, definitely. And we're gonna make sure that this gets out and we tag all the cute videos that you need to send me. And like when, yeah, when people just commented on your stuff, like I love it. Especially the Carol G
yeah,
stuff. Like, dude, you are so lucky.
that that's
So
probably like my
lucky.
biggest
That's
accomplishment
your
in social
hall
media.
that has to be part of your like Hall of Fame little moments.
Yes.
And Lady Gaga stuff, even though we didn't fit that in, we love Lady
Oh
Gaga.
my gosh,
So
tonight.
yeah,
Yes, we can make
seriously.
it happen.
But no, for everybody that's listening, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and include everything that we talk about, links, all that fun stuff, and we'll keep going. You know, it takes $0 to support a homie, so we'll keep at it. The Instagram handle for the podcast is at organize underscore clutter underscore podcast. We are available on all streaming platforms, and we're getting into YouTube as well, so I'm super excited. So, yeah, keep in touch, bestie. You know I love you, and I can't wait to see this more.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, so much fun.
Of course. Alrighty. Bye.
Bye, Mocosas.
Vamos a pasar.
You ain't gonna talk to me like that, you better stop. Let your body, girl, I'm living in my